requested an absentee ballot for November's election. It's about to be on its way to your mailbox. WRAL's Laura Levine walks us through the new rules for voting absentee.
We have 42 days until Election Day, and starting this morning, the county boards of elections will place tens of thousands of absentee ballots in the mail over the course of the next few days. So far, county boards have received more than 207,600 absentee ballot requests for this election. This includes more than 19,000 requests from military and overseas voters. 102 ballots have been returned by military and overseas voters whose ballots were sent to them on Friday. Karen Brenton-Bell says election officials have been working long hours through the night and into weekends because of that court-ordered delay in voting and the case connected to RFK getting off the ballot. Meanwhile, North Carolina is one of 20 states the FBI is investigating after suspicious packages were sent to election officials. The state elections director says security is a #1 priority.
At the end of the day, the core, we're not going to be intimidated by this. We're going to do the core work, the very compass that drives us, and that is to ensure that every eligible voter is able to cast their ballot.
She emphasized the importance for people voting by mail to know that laws have changed since 2020. Ballots now have to be delivered back to the state by Election Day or else they won't be counted. So if you are voting by mail, remember the deadline to request an absentee ballot is Tuesday, October 29th. Laura Levine, WRAL News in Raleigh.
Vice President Kamala Harris could make a stop at the U.S.-Mexico border during her upcoming trip to Arizona. It'd be the first vice presidential trip at the southern border since becoming the Democratic presidential nominee. Sources say the final details about exactly where Harris would visit or what else she might do on the trip have not been decided.
Former President Donald Trump is planning to return to Butler, Pennsylvania. That's where Thomas Crooks shot him in the air back in July. Trump has mentioned returning to the town, but it's not clear if the rally will happen at the same venue. The Secret Service urged Trump to avoid holding events outdoors because of the assassination attempts. Both presidential campaigns have stops planned for North Carolina tomorrow. Former President Trump is expected to speak at a campaign event in Mint Hill. That's a town east of Charlotte. Second Gentleman Doug Emhoff plans to attend a campaign event in Wilmington on the same day. WRAL will cover all the campaign visits to North Carolina now through Election Day.
This morning, Vice President Harris looking to tackle a key vulnerability. As the latest NBC News poll shows Harris trailing Donald Trump on border security, the vice president planning to visit the southern border this week during a trip to Arizona, according to campaign officials. Where another new poll shows her behind the former president, within the margin of error. Former President Trump has been attacking Harris over immigration, including in Pennsylvania last night, where he claimed the issue was one key reason for his 2016 victory.
We will reclaim our sovereignty and restore our borders.
As he fired up supporters in the key battleground state.
Vote early, vote absentee, or vote in person on Election Day.
Trump also focusing on the economy, giving one woman money for her groceries at an earlier stop.
We'll do that for you from the White House, all right? All right, bye. Nice seeing you, everybody.
But in the state where a shooter attempted to kill the former president, the two assassination attempts continuing to cast a shadow over his campaign. A Secret Service official telling NBC News the agency is taking a, quote, heightened posture in its protection of the former president, including this agent closely trailing him as he left his plane. Sources also telling NBC News that 1 month before the election, Mr. Trump plans to return to Butler, Pennsylvania, where he suffered an ear injury after he was shot at.
I'm getting very good at learning about weapons. I'm learning a lot about guns.
Meanwhile, in a new court filing, prosecutors introducing chilling new details about the other would-be Trump assassin, Ryan Ruth, who they say targeted Trump at his Florida golf course, saying Ruth gave someone this handwritten letter addressed to the world months ago, which reads in part, quote, "This was an assassination attempt on Donald Trump."
Keep walking!
Prosecutors say they recovered a list of Trump's upcoming appearances from Ruth's vehicle.